Hi guys, welcome back. My apologies for the long absence, but in October my life had a priority. However, I spent the last 3 weeks in analyzing and playing the war game featured in Strategy and Tactics number 312, that is Alesia, the last stand of the Gauls. Well, obviously, Alesia is a war game about the epic battle between Roman and Gallic forces in 52 before Christ. Caesar led the Roman army and entrapped Vercingetorix inside the fortress of Alesia. A relief Gaul army tried to break the siege, but every attempt failed. After 3 days of harsh combats, the Gallic relief forces drifted away and Vercingetorix surrendered. The war game is not comparable to the old and unbeatable Alesia, well produced and published by Avalon Hill, but it allows to spend 2 pleasant nights simulating in an acceptable way Caesar's triumph. Last but not least, both the magazine and the war game are very good didactic tools. So guys, thank you for your attention, enjoy the video and stay tuned. Bye. Well guys, the first component that we are going to analyze is just the map design created by Joe used for the decision games. Well, at the center of the map we have the fortress of Alesia, where we find Vercingetorix, and he is about 80,000 Gauls. Then we have the double line of Roman fortifications. Well, on the top, on the right, we find the 3 days of battle, well, you have to use the marker to indicate the 3 different days. Then on the left we have well, the placement, the map, the mini map, where you can place, but it's not so correct. I'm going to show you, well, the hidden map that the Gaul player has to use. Well, if you notice, well, you have in front of you the relief army hidden setup display. So at the beginning of the game, the Gaul player is placing his units here, well, along the map. Well, it's very similar to the old Alesia by Avalon Hill. Well, then you have a table where you can read the several characteristics of the terrain: open Roman camp, the outer wall and the inner wall in orange, in a sort of purple red, the outer wall, slope going up, going down, and the stream side, and obviously the hexes that characterize the citadel of Alesia. Then you have very useful terrain effect charts. Please remember that we have to consider the several differences that we have about the movement cost between Romans and Gauls, and we can say the same also when we are analyzing the combat effects. So please remember that we have some differences between the possibilities that the two armies have. And last but not least, the combat results table. Well, please remember that there isn't any odds to calculate, but well, you roll a die and you have to consider the number of the combat points that are involved. And well, to finish, a good map in every case. Alesia is a game designed by Joseph Miranda, map graphics by Joe Used, and this game was created in 2018 by Decision Games. Well, and now let's continue with the analysis of the counters. Well, guys, here is the initial deployment concerning the wargame Alesia. In the center of the map you can see Vercingetorix with his sieged army, and around the citadel of Alesia you can see the double line of fortifications that Caesar built. Well, at first, I have already analyzed the counters, but now I want to give you some more details. Well, the first unit that, in my opinion, it's important to consider is the Roman fort unit. Why? Because this counter allows the Roman player to roll the die on column 2 when is defending by using missile fire, and moreover this counter allows the unit stacked with hit to not to retreat. So in the first game I was wrong in placing the Roman force without any unit, so I strongly recommend to place on each Roman fort a unit. Such way, this hex becomes very, very strong, and it's difficult to seize. Well, what about the details concerning the Roman fort unit? Well, it's by considering this symbol that you see on the top left. This is the symbol that indicates that this unit has heavy missiles. So actually we find the use or the presence of the so-called ballistas. Then the combat factor, you already said, 2. The range, on the top right you find a small digit, a small number 2, that indicates the range of the missile unit. And please remember that the Roman fort unit is a static unit, so it cannot move. Well, I have already described the several counters. Well, I want to remind the players also the presence of a lot of centurion units, other minor leaders that allow the Roman player to have a high skill of movement and combat. And I'm going to illustrate better the turn in the coming soon video about the game. Well, let's see the placement, the Roman placement. If you notice, I have covered all the fortification by using the zone controls. Please remember that the zones of control are rigid, so when a unit is engaged in a zone of control, obviously the unit is obliged to attack. So what about the Gauls beyond Vercingetorix and his blue army? Well, let's have a look at a mini-map that you find on the main map on the left. Well, in this mini-map you find also the external areas where at the beginning the Gaul player places the units. I have at the moment placed the Gaul units in the west forest, in the east forest, and in the northwest. It's my intention to attack this part of the Roman deployment. Why? Because there isn't a continuous line of fortifications because of the famous Mount Rea, that was a sort of hill that didn't allow Caesar to build the fortification in a continuous way. So please remember the importance of this part about the Roman deployment. Well, obviously, I want to remind that the leaders, the Roman leaders, are very powerful. We have four main leaders: Caesar, Antonius, and Trebonius, and Labienus. Well, and I have placed under them the cavalry units, that such a way that they can allow the Roman player to cover the possible problems that can occur during the game. So, well, this is not, I think that we have many other possibilities in the initial deployment, but I have preferred to place the cavalry under the main leaders. Well, now I can close the video, and please be patient. I'm going to shoot the second video about the illustration of a complete turn. Stay tuned, guys, and bye.